All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis, who just had a press conference with Ryan Garcia, but took time out to share some thoughts about the undisputed champion in the lightweight division, Devin Haney, and his family. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in a 135-pound division where this year it looks like we're going to get two of the best fights to take place in boxing, and involving four of the biggest names in the lightweight division: Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Vasily Lomachenko, and Devin, the undisputed champion at 135 pounds. Haney and Gervonta Tank Davis took some time out to take shots at all parties involved. Now, before I get into that though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also, if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support of the channel. Ain't easy to put up this work and continue to do this. So real big supporters like you guys really are very, very important. So thank you all. But let's get into this, man. So Gervonta Davis, as of the time of this video, we're about 10 minutes away at the time I made this video, away from a Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia press conference announcing their fight, which will take place in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena on April 22nd of this year. That fight will be, I do believe, at the weight limit of 136 pounds, which will be 1 pound above the 135-pound limit. So there will not be a Gervonta Davis's WBA regular belt on the line for that fight, which really to me doesn't make that big a difference because it's really the fight that we want to see. It's that I want to see. It is the atmosphere of the fight. It's the buildup of the fight. It's the fact that so many people are interested in it and talking about it that makes the whole thing very, very exciting and should be exciting for the next the next 6 weeks or so until that fight takes, is that 6 weeks? Yeah, I think that's 6 weeks until that fight takes place. However, at the same time, there's another fight that is supposed to be taking place in May, and that is between Devin the Dream Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, two guys that have held between the two of them all four of the major championship belts, and Devin Haney holding them all now. Vasily Lomachenko holding 3 at a point in time: the WBC, the WBA, and the WBO. I think the only belt that he didn't hold was the IBF. And please do not tell me that he never held the WBC, because yes, he did. Even before he was elevated to the franchise championship, he held that belt, okay? So please do not go into my comment section telling me that he was never the WBC champion. Just have to try to nip that in the bud before we get that. However, this big announcement of this big press conference is coming up. Right before it, Gervonta Tank Davis takes a couple seconds to take a shot at his would-be nemesis, Devin Haney, and says, and really he's talking to Devin Haney's father, Bill Haney, who, if you're not aware, is one of the more vocal promoters that there are in the sport of boxing, and specifically is extremely vocal about Gervonta Davis and tends to bring up Gervonta Davis at every opportunity that he can to connect his son's name, Devin Haney, with Gervonta Davis. Because as you know, we've got a very interesting dynamic between the two. One of them is the undisputed champion in the division that he holds all the major sanctioned and body belts. But the other one is the undisputed cash cow of that division, and most definitely one of the biggest names in boxing. So Gervonta Tank Davis took a couple seconds today to rub Devin Haney and Bill Haney's face in this fact before he goes into his press conference with Ryan Garcia. Specifically what he says is, and I'm not going to go into the tweet word by word, he says, Basically, shut up, Bill. I make more money than you, your son, and your fighter, and your son's opponent. Also, then he goes on to saying something about be quiet and go on. And, I won't say that part, but it has something to do with, illicit relationships with women and or illegal relationships with women, should I say, and then goes on to say, by the way, cut that garbage off your face. You're looking out here looking bad. So I'll leave the beard alone because, hey, man, if you want to let your hair grow, let your hair grow. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm not into how people make their money. That's his business. That's his business. However, I do find it funny that the comment about the money, because that is something that Bill Haney and Devin Haney talk about on a regular basis, which is how much money they make and how they made more money than Bernard Hopkins has up until this point. At this point in time, Devin Haney has made more money than Bernard Hopkins has ever made. And whenever it's somebody that they suspect has earned less money, they will bring that up in a second. So it's not, I don't think that is any type of conversation is off limits. Devin Haney in the past has said that wasn't true. However, I can pretty much guarantee you that after this fight takes place, that is definitely going to be true in this fight, because what you're looking at, and I don't have my calculator in front of me, but I probably should pull it up just for the fun of doing the numbers. You're going to look at quite possibly a $80 fight times 800,000 pay-per-view buys, which is attainable. That would make that $64 million fight. It's going to be in the T-Mobile Arena. I doubt very much it's going to make anything less than a $20 million gate in that particular fight. And why do I say $20 million gate? Let's just go down to $15 million gate, because I think that is very doable when you have tickets going for $7,000 a pop already. So if you do this and you say, okay, well, how much would Gervonta make? He gets a 60-40 split out of this. So you multiply that times 0.9, because Showtime said they pay 90% of it to the fighters. So you change this 64 million times 0.9 equals 57.6. And then if you want to get 60% of that, you multiply that times 0.6 and you get a $34,560,000 payday if they are able to get do 800,000 pay-per-views. And that is without the gate. And he may say he may get a percentage of the gate, which means he may walk away with $40 million. Very, very, very big possibility. And why is that? Because those are not unheard of numbers for a gigantic fight that everybody wants to see. Mike Tyson was making that in the early 1990s, as was Evander Holyfield. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has made that more than that many times, as well as Canelo Alvarez, also Manny Pacquiao, and they did that in fights that sold more than that. However, it's very, very doable for him. So at the end of this thing, he probably will make more money in this fight than Bill Haney, Devin Haney, and Vasily Lomachenko make combined in their fight in May, regardless of how many of the belts are actually on the line. But then you should also add maybe the fact that he doesn't have to pay 12% of his purse to that. And he only has to pay 3% of the money that he says is a purse, which if I have any, if the past is an indicator of the future, they're probably going to report a $1.5 million guarantee, something like that. Because in this scenario, there is no need for a guarantee ahead of time when the fight is going to be that big, obviously. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. That's my thought on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.